I know that many of us, we set goals beginning of the year. Remember, I also did that video where I was sharing with you guys my goals. I know that we set intentions, we had resolutions and all the stuff. We have things that we want to work on personally, career-wise, business-wise, side hustles, financially. And on today's video, we are going to be talking about the things that we want to work on financially. However, how do we make sure that we actually achieve them? How do we make sure that we work towards these things and that we remain consistent and disciplined? Because the thing is, many of us, as much as we may set our goals beginning of the year, set our intentions, say that these are the things that we want to work on, the struggle comes with as we go along in the months or as we go along in the year, where we struggle with being consistent, we struggle with being disciplined. Yes, we start so well, so energized and so motivated, and then down the line, 3 months, 4 months down the line, we're no longer as motivated, and it becomes worse close to the end of the year. We're no longer as motivated because we feel like, okay, you know what, this is just not working. And so many of us, we then struggle to meet our goals at the end of the year. We struggle to see what we worked towards at the end of the year. So on today's video, I want to share with you things that I want you to think about as we look at consistency. How do you remain consistent? How do you remain disciplined? Things that I just want you to be mindful of so that you remind yourself these things during the year, even in the times whereby you feel like, you know what, I just want to give up. Remind yourself of this video. Come back to this video and just refresh your mind so that you can continue to be consistent, because without consistency, without discipline, it's going to be hard for you to achieve the goals that you've set for yourself beginning of this year. And so we're going to look at this in the perspective of our financial goals. Yes, there are other types of goals that we set for ourselves. You can apply this anywhere in your life, be it in your personal life, financial life, anywhere in your life you can apply it. It's not only limited to the financial goals, but it's just a broader way of looking at it. But I just want us to narrow in on our financial goals. So with that being said, let me introduce myself. My name is Jen Ngumalo. If you are new here, I hope that you join us by clicking that red subscribe button on the bottom, and also don't forget to smash that like button. Thank you so much, guys, for the people that have been smashing the like button. Just making sure that when you're watching the video, you are smashing the like button. It really doesn't take away anything from you. It is just a way to show support and saying thank you so much for your effort that you put in creating this video and creating this video and giving it for us to consume, to learn and to grow. And so that is the aspect of liking. It's just to say thank you for the effort that you've been putting in. We see it, we appreciate it. And so if you enjoy my videos and you appreciate my effort, you love my content, you come back here over and over again, please make sure that you always smash the like button, because it does go a long way. So let us get into the video. So as I said at the beginning of the video, I spoke about the fact that many of us, we set goals, but we struggle to keep working on our goals. There are many things that lead to this, which I'm going to take you guys through. But one of the things that I just want us to look at is the fact that life will always happen. As much as we may tell ourselves that this is what we want to achieve, this is what we want to work on, but the fact of the matter is, this is life. As much as we may have control on some things, but majority of the things in this life, we do not have control over. We cannot control them. And so I need you to be mindful of that. Whenever you set goals, whenever you set intentions, that you tell yourself that this is what I desire. But also you must always understand that this is life. Things will change. Things will happen. Your plans will be messed up. Things will take you off course. This is life. And the reason why I am mentioning this at the beginning is because on the points that we're going to be talking about, it's basically referencing that this is life. Understand that this is life, that things are not always going to go your way, that things are not always going to look all bright and all fairy. Things are not always going to be smooth. Life will never be smooth. Life is not fair. And so it's very important to be mindful of that, so that you are able to take yourself out of that situation that you may be feeling and just continue walking your journey, continue pushing forward. So the first one is that you need to stick to your word. Stick to your word in a sense that what you said you're going to do, please do that. If you said that beginning of the year, I want to save, I want to pay off debts, and mind you, I am also saying these points to myself because in 2024, honestly, we need to do better with our goals. So what you said that you want to do beginning of the year, please do it. Keep your word. That's the crux of this point. Keep your word. You committed that this is what I want to do. then just do it. And this shows discipline to yourself. It shows self-love. It shows that you take yourself seriously. When you say, I'm going to do this, you actually do that. Does not mean that you have to do it exactly the way that you envisioned, but at least you did something that took you closer to what you had envisioned that you want to do. And so keep your word. And as I said, I'm saying these things to myself as well, that in this year, I just want to be more intentional and just keep my word. When I say that this is what I want to do, I need to do that. The second thing is that when life happens and you get derailed, please keep going. Keep going. I'll make an example that I love making whenever I do my videos of driving wherever. So let's say, for instance, you want to go to where? Let's choose another place. Let's say you want to go to Mpumalanga, and you are coming from Gauteng, you are driving to Mpumalanga. And it happens that you get a punch tire along the way, which leads you to have to stop, get out of the road, get to the side of the road and see if you can change the tire. If you cannot change the tire, what you do is you seek assistance with your insurance for someone to come and help you in changing the tire, or you do it yourself. That is what you do. However, from once you have changed the tire, you do not then say, you know what, I no longer want to do this, I am just going back. You will not find anyone saying, I'm going to this place, and then they get some sort of a problem or a hiccup along the way with their car, and then they decide, you know what, I'm just going to drive back, because they understand that that is wasted time. That is wasted time. You cannot say you're going to commit to something, and then along the way, when things happen, when things happen and challenges, and you encounter challenges, that you decide that, you know what, I was much better where I was, and so I'm just gonna go back. And so what most people do is, once they've changed the tire, they continue on course. They get back on the road and they drive where they are going. And so I like to make an example of this because it's the most practical example that I can make when it comes to goal setting, when it comes to setting an intention. And the same thing applies here. If you encounter challenges along the way, let's say, for instance, you decided that this year you want to pay off some of your debts, and then it happens that your salary got affected, maybe it got down a little bit, or it happens that in some months you don't get paid the money that you had hoped that you are going to get paid because you are so used to this. Maybe your commission is no longer the same, or it happens that, you know what, there is an emergency that came up that needed you to prioritize your resources towards that. Anything can happen. As I started this video, I said this is life. Anything can happen, and anything will happen. Anything will happen. Like, whether we like it or not, there will always be something that happens that affects us in our life, that derails us from the path that we're going. However, it doesn't mean that you must stop. What you need to do is take a step back, regroup, get back on track. So it doesn't mean that just because you've lost that 1 month that it is the end of you working towards that goal. It means that you must keep going. Just because you said that, okay, today this is what I want to do, and it didn't happen, and then you say, you know what, I'm never going to do this again. No, you come back again another time, you regroup, you gather the strength, not the motivation, the strength to keep going, and then you keep going. And so the mistake that most people do is that when they encounter challenges in their finances, where situations happen that need money, that affect their income, all these things, what they do is they just forget. They just raise their hands like this and say, you know what, I am not doing it anymore. And so if you're going to have that attitude whenever you encounter challenges, it's going to be hard for you to progress in life. It's going to be hard for you to achieve anything in life because you give up easily. So do not give up easily. The third point just talks exactly about what I just said, not giving up. And why is this important, not to give up? It is important not to give up because you can always modify, guys. If things happen in life, you can always modify. Let's say, for instance, you had planned that you want to cook this meal where you're going to need rice, you're going to need these types of veggies, you're going to need oil, you're going to need all the stuff. And then it happens that you come home and you realize that you do not have oil, but you have butter in your fridge. What you do is you modify your recipe and you take the butter, you use the butter to heat up your onion so that you are able to continue cooking. You don't just say, I am not going to cook, whilst in your house there may be something that you can use to substitute the oil. So the same thing with your goals as well. When life happens and things get hard, do not give up. When you experience challenges, do not give up. modify. If it means that you change up your goals a little bit, so if let's say for instance you got a salary cut, or maybe in your position you get paid commission and all the stuff, and it happens that in some month it went down, what you do is you regroup and you modify your goals to say, okay, currently this is what I'm working with. I'm not going to be able to work towards the goals that I had set previously because I was looking at my income in that time, but I'm going to be practical and realistic. Right now this is how much I'm getting paid, and how can I distribute this towards my goals? And you just modify and you keep it going. I really just want to encourage you to not give up, to say that even when you experience challenges will always happen. Keep on going, take a step back, modify your goals, and keep it moving. Fourth point is, done is better than perfection. One of the things that derail us, one of the things that keep us stuck, is the idea of perfection. We strive for perfection. We strive for things to be this particular way in order for them to be done. Like, I'll give you an example with my business. Almost everything that I've launched in my business, that I've released in my business, was not in a perfect mode. Nothing of mine that I've released has ever been in a perfect mode, because I understand that as human beings, we are not perfect ourselves, and that's how can I expect perfection from the things that I create when I myself am not perfect. And so what I strive for is done, then perfect. And I know that for many people, they beat themselves over when things are not the way that they want. They're not in their perfect condition that they want. However, the most important thing is that thing being done. If you want to make any progress whatsoever, you can always refine along the way. My journals, it was my first time last year when I launched them. I created it myself. I did everything myself except the printing, but I did the design, and everything was done by me. Then got it printed, put it out in the market. Another person would have sat with that journal for years and years, trying to refine it, trying to work on it before they even put it out in the market. By the time they put it out in the market, people are not interested. What I did there, I told myself that I'm just going to design this journal, I'm going to put it out there, and then I'm going to collect feedback. Once people start using it, I'm going to collect feedback. That feedback is going to help me as I refine each and every year. It's going to be a process of refinement, but I'm not going to sit with a journal for years and years as if I'm writing a book, instead of putting it out there and letting people use it. And then they give me feedback to say, okay, I think here we need more space here. We need more of this, less of that. That one was not important. And then I can refine from there. And that is why for me, I have been able to do a lot of things that I've done, and people sometimes get shocked. How do you do all these things? It's because I don't get stuck in the point of perfection. My video quality is not the best. Even the sound itself, it is not the best. I use headphones currently, of which I'm going to get a mic. Definitely going to get a mic soon. I think in February we're going to be having a proper mic. However, another person would have just said, you know what, my video quality is not good, my sound quality is not good, and so I'm not gonna put out this video. Like, sometimes obviously if the sound is like really that bad, I won't put it out. But if I feel like, oh man, the sound is okay, like you'll get the message, I'm gonna put it out there, because then yes, I will get the feedback that I'm going to get. But I also know that I cannot progress anywhere in life. I cannot achieve anything in this life if I wait for perfection, if I wait for things to be pleasing to an extent of perfection. If for me it is okay in my eyes, if for me it feels like, okay, this is practical, this is usable, okay, this makes sense, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna put it out there. So the same thing with your goals as well. The reason why I say take time and regroup and refine is because you want to move, you need to move over this point of perfection. If you said that I want to save 10,000 this year, and then you realize halfway along the year that, hey, your boy, the 10,000 is not going to happen, it does not mean that you must stop. It just means that you keep going, you refine. If it means that the money must, if it means that you save less than 10,000, then you save less than 10,000. It doesn't make you less of an achiever. It doesn't make you less of a human being. It doesn't make you less of who you are, just because what you said at the beginning of the year was not exactly what you got at the end of the year. Because as I said at the beginning of the video as well, we are humans, things will happen. The most important thing is taking the steps, is doing the work, keeping the promise to yourself, and not to just say, just because things are not working the way that you desire them to be, and then you then stop. The fifth point is that your goals are overwhelming. Now, this is something that some of you guys may be struggling with when it comes to goal setting, especially if you are not used to goal setting. It's very likely that people will just set big goals and then they'll leave it like that. And then as the months continue going, they realize, hey man, this goal is really overwhelming me. This is really big. And the reason why a goal will be overwhelming is when you have not broken it down in action steps, because the action step inform you what you need to do in order for you to work towards this goal. And so I'll give an example. Whenever I set goals is I will make this one big goal, and then I will have action steps. My action steps, I use them as checkpoints. If you remember my video that I did on goal setting, I talked about checkpoints. For me, my checkpoints are my action points. Even further than that, when I'm breaking down my goals on my journal, which if you got my journal, you will know what I'm talking about. I broke it down to 6 months, 3 months, 1 month. The 1 month is basically what I need to do each and every month to make sure that I'm achieving what I said I want to achieve in 3 months. Then in 3 months, I'm achieving what I said in 6 months. Then in 6 months, I'm achieving what I said I want to get by the end of the year. And so for me, my goals are never really overwhelming. The only thing that is likely to happen with me when it comes to goals setting is losing the interest in the goal. But in terms of it being overwhelming, I try to avoid that by making sure that I break my goals down in bite-sized nuggets, and not just breaking down the goals. You have your goal, but what you do is you create action steps that inform you what you need to do in order for you to achieve your goal, or in order for you to work towards your goal. This also allows you to see if you are going the right direction or not. I always make an example of driving down, and you see those boards that say how many kilometers are left until this place. So we use those as well to measure how far we are to reach our destination. And so the same thing whenever you're setting goals. If you don't want your goals to be overwhelming, put checkpoints, put bite-sized pieces of actions that you need to do monthly. You can do weekly, you can do daily. For me, I never really go down to daily and weekly, because some of my goals really do not need me to do everything daily, except for my personal goals. Like my personal goals are things that I need to action daily and weekly. However, when it comes to my financial goals, it's not daily, it's actually monthly. And so I would say in a month, this is what I have to do. In a month, I need to make sure that I have saved this much. I need to make sure that I've invested this much. And then I add it up. In 3 months, I look, okay, in 3 months, how much have I invested? How much have I saved? How far am I in this goal? And so you need to make sure that your goals are not overwhelming by breaking them down. And then the last point, which is the 6th point here, is that do not do things just because they feel good. Do things because it's necessary. It's essential that you must do them. You've committed to doing them, and thus you do them. Like, there are so many things in life that we do, and we don't do them because it feels good, but we do them because it is our responsibility to show up. One of them is our jobs. Many of us, I know, we do not wake up because it feels good. Many of us, we would choose to sleep in just a little bit, wake up maybe around 9, get ready, and then maybe get to work around 10. Many of us would choose that life than to have to wake up around 5, then to have to wake up around 6, then to have to wake up before you felt like your body was ready to wake up. And so we don't wake up because it feels good. We wake up and get ready to go to work, take our kids to school, because it is our responsibility. It is essential. It is necessary that we do that, because we need to show up for ourselves and show that we are committed to whatever that we're doing. You need to show up to your work and show them that you are committed to this job, that you are actually taking this job seriously. And so what we do is we will wake up in the morning and go to work. And so the same thing with your goals. We don't work towards our goals because it feels good. Majority of the time, the things that we want to achieve are things that we want to change about our lives. If you say that you want to pay off debts, that is something you want to change about your finances. If you say you want to achieve financial freedom, that is something that you want to change about your current financial situation. If you say that you want to lose weight, that is something that you want to change about your body, about about the way that you feel. If you say that you want to study, that is something that you want to change about your current personal or career prospect. And so everything that we want to do, everything that we intend to achieve, we do not work towards those things because it feels good. The end result may feel good, may make us happy, may give us some joy, may give us peace, may make us feel content. Yes, the end result may give us all of that. We may be excited when now we are graduating, we finish this qualification that we're studying. We may be excited when we've reached financial freedom. We may be happy that we've paid off this debt. However, the process, it is not fun. It is not nice. It doesn't feel good at all. Waking up each and every day and exercising doesn't feel good. Waking up in the early hours or sleeping late because you are studying doesn't feel good, because our bodies would choose to rather sleep. Our bodies would choose to rather rest, but we realize that it's our responsibility, and so we show up. If you said that, okay, I want to save 10,000 this year, and you can see that, oh wow, I really would love to buy myself this dress. I really would love to buy myself these shoes. I would love to get myself this phone. I would love to do this with my money. Why do I have to save? Why do I have to put this much money away? Remind yourself that you don't do it because it feels good. You do it because it's necessary, because you are clear about why you want to save 10,000. Unless you are just saying, you want to save 10,000 so that you can gloat to other people that, oh my God, this year I was able to save 10,000. Oh my God, yes, me. No. If that was your approach to goal setting, then it's going to be very hard for you to keep going even when it doesn't feel good, because when it's time for Black Friday, you are most likely to say, you know what, screw this, I'm taking my money and I'm going to get that. And then end of the year, you look back, you haven't achieved what you said because you decided to forgo your goals, because your goals were not substantive enough. Your goals were not backed up by anything. It was more so for the praises or how people will perceive you or how people will look at you, instead of what you wanted to change with your life or your finances. And so if your goals are very clear, that I know why I want to save 10,000 by end of the year, because I know that this 10,000 is going to allow me to do 1, 2, and 3, then you keep going. Then you do it even in the months whereby you see that people are splurging, people are buying, even with the content that you watch. You see people unboxing all these nice things. You tell yourself that, for me, this is not the time. Right now, this is what I'm working towards. And that is why I always say that it's very important that you personalize your finances to you, as well as when you're setting goals, you personalize them to you. You say, this is what I want to achieve in my life because I know it will help me with 1, 2, and 3. And that is why, for me, even when I get pressure from some of you guys saying, why don't you do this instead of this? Why don't you? I always stay true to myself and say, I know why I want to do that. I understand why it's important for me to do this thing this way, or to work towards this thing instead of that, because I'm clear about my goals. And thus no one can come from the outside tell me to change my goals, because I know what I'm working towards. I know why I'm working towards that. So those are all the points that I just wanted to share with you, to say, in the midst of the life happening, because life will happen, life will come with challenges, please keep going. Please do not give up. Understand that that's a natural part of life, for challenges to come, for disturbances to come, for other things to disturb your journey. However, we keep going. However, we keep pushing. We modify where it's necessary, but we keep going. And we don't do things because they feel good. We do them because we need to show up for ourselves. We need to show that we are serious and we take ourselves seriously. And so with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to smash that like button. Join us by subscribing if you are not subscribers yet. I'll see you guys on the next one. Please take care and stay safe. Bye.